Randy Lovell taking control of this one early from the front row, and on the chase, the 3D of Mr. Daryl Rhodes. That WD Electric number 3 back out here at Golden Triangle Raceway Park for the first time in several weeks. And now looking to make a good move here down the front stretch we go. Rhodes sets it into the top, dives the bottom. Here we are on a turn number 2, door to door. Down the back stretch, we're going to drag race once again into turns 3 and 4 for the whole shot. Spot position as we are cross flags halfway home, and a new race leader. And spotting advantage is going to go to the 3D of Daryl Rhodes, but gets right there with the 83 of Randy Lovell on the front stretch. Interesting, interesting, interesting as we move through this one. Two laps to go here for your race leader, the 3D of Daryl Rhodes. On the chase, Randy Lovell. He's just going to sit tight and look at that second place spot, study Rhodes, and try to figure out what his car's going to do for the A main. Rhodes now diving it into turns 3 and 4. Works it with a white flag. Coming on out, one more lap and 4 more turns for the 3D of Mr. Daryl Rhodes. Here he is, ladies and gentlemen, on a turn 4. Put it together. Your Baker Oilfield Service Heat Race winner, the 3D of Daryl Rhodes. Lights are out, ladies and gentlemen. Green flag here on a turn 4. Daryl Rhodes and Randy Love. Door to door on a turn 4. Good chase here on the back for the lead as we do stay nice and clean and green. With Randy Lovell trying to track down the always fast Daryl Rhodes in the 3D. That WD electric machine work in the middle of the racing surface with Randy Lovell on the chase. You can see that racetrack, folks. Nice and smooth, and around goes the 16 of Thomas Pepper at top of turn 4. He looks to maybe park it and get the old caution flag to come out. No. He is going to keep going after he realizes that the yellow's not coming. He was not in the way. Finds the gear. You see the car lurch for a moment. Now here come the leaders. And gentlemen, narrowly missing that when the 3D Daryl Arena's up and the hammer is down. It's his showtime. Guillory with a good run going down into turns 1 and 2. Works the top. He looks to have a little bit of a momentum shift, and no, it's going to be Lovell that gets that second place hole shot on the exit of turn number 2. Regrouping back down into turns 3 and 4. Guillory looks to be fighting a little bit of a setup. You can see him bobbling on them brakes in the middle of turns 3 and 4, trying to reset it and get the front end pointed towards the exit. But you know who's got that front end pointed towards the exit and rocking around these corners? The 3D of Daryl Rhodes. Nice and smooth. He's going to drag the brake, reset the car, middle of the corner, and 5 laps down of the scheduled 12. As Dwayne Blair gives him the old sign, he cross flags halfway home. For your Baker Oilfield Services A main chase to Rush Truck Center victory lane. He picked up the heat race, looking to try to double up tonight, get both of the checkers. Daryl Rhodes, first time back out here in the 3D in several weeks. He was sitting in the stands last week. And I guess he just decided, hey, we're going to go green flag racing next week. Now here we are. Took some time to regroup, and it's paying off for him. Continuing to stretch his legs a little bit, folks, as the white flag comes out for the 3D of Daryl Rhodes. One more lap and 4 more turns. Out of turn 4, ladies and gentlemen, Daryl Rhodes in the 3D, heading on down to Rush Truck Center Victory Lane.
And in back rows, Jeremy Buxton in the 17 car. Green flag's out. Jeremy looking at the bottom, trying to make a move way back in the back. Coming up here, Nick leading in. Taylor looking at the high side, Nick on the bottom. Chris Dana stretching it out. Jeremy trying to find his way through the field back there, coming to the front. Whoa, both of them sliding a little bit high. Nick keeping it on the bottom. Taylor running a top groove. Chris Dana rounding out the top 3. Randy Steinbecker in that 777 car getting there. Jeremy Buxton in a 17 car trying to work his way up through there. Taylor Hunter stretching out to a good lead here in that 3 car. Nick Hunter running that 2nd spot. Chris Dana hanging on that 3rd spot. Jeremy's trying to work his way up through there, trying to get Randy in that 4th spot. Jeremy making his move there, see if he can make it stick down there. Got a good race going for that 2nd and 3rd and 4th spot back there. Woohoo! Taylor getting her way up there by the fence. Nick rolling around there. Oh, got a little push on that 19 car. Chris Dana and Jeremy Buxton moving up there into that 4th spot. Looking at the bottom, going down there under Chris Dana in the 19 car. Trying to get them rolling. Taylor running up there at the top. Halfway through this time for Nick in the 3 car. Hunter in the 3 car, Nick in the 9 car. Jeremy moving up to that 3rd spot. Finally getting from the back row up into the 3rd position. Chris Dana in the 19 car trying to stay with him. Both of them have a little push. 19 car, Robert Hillman bringing up the back. The 3 car up. Taylor Hunter running in the lead. Nick Hunter running in that 2nd spot. Both them boys from LaPorte, Texas. Jeremy Buxton moving up into the 3rd spot. Chris Dana holding on that 4th spot. Randy Steinbecker in 5th. Chunk 22 car running around there. 2 to go this time by for Taylor Hunter in the 3 car. Nick Hunter also 2 to go. Jeremy Buxton getting there a little loose, trying to close the gap up on the 3rd. Rolling out the big Thicket Veterinarian Clinic. Chris Dana flapping his roof lid there. White flag out for Taylor Hunter coming this time by. Nick Hunter taking it in the 2nd spot. Jeremy Buxton running in that 3rd spot at 17 car way back yonder. Them 200 boys got them rolling. Chris Dana coming by. Randy Steinbecker, here he comes. The checkered flag waves for Taylor Hunter, Nick Hunter. Flagman's got the green flag out. They're off. Kyle Berry stretching her out pretty easy. Donald Mick got 2nd spot. Jason Rivas diving to the inside of Donald Mick, going down there in. Kyle's a little tight, sliding up high. Seeing if they can get her lined out. And Donald Mick finding the gas pedal, getting that 96 car rolling. Coming around in, them cars a little slip. Kyle Berry in the 6X car, your leader. 96, Donald Mick. 626 of Jason Rivas. The 8 car, Kerry Cormer, and Wendy Cozart in that 11 car running. Kyle Berry stretching her out pretty good there, finally figuring out how to get her in there. Having a little trouble on the first and a little loose coming on the outside. Donald Mick getting a little loose. Jason having to get on the binders to stay off of him. Jason Rivas in the 626 car looking at the bottom this time, going by Donald Mick, trying to find a way by him. Knows if he gets in him, he's got to work on it. Kyle Berry cruising out there in the 6X car to cruising to a lead. Jason Rivas looking at the bottom, trying to have a hard time getting her there. Donald Mick still holding off that 2nd spot going by here. Kerry Corman, 8 car rounding out your top 4. Wendy Cozart, 2nd time in that little car, finally finding the gas pedal a little bit there. Kyle Berry stretching it out easy here. Jason Rivas looking at the bottom, see if he can make it stick. Oh, getting a little bit out of shape, finding a hole. We got a real good race going here for that 2nd spot between Donald Mick and the 626 car. Jason Rivas, can't get her to stick, going underneath him. Donald Mick keeping her smooth and staying ahead of him. Wendy Cozart getting halfway through the 6X of Kyle Berry. Jason Rivas just can't find a way to get by him. Carry that front tire through there. Wendy getting out. Getting her under control. She finding a gas pedal on that thing. No. Kyle Berry running her up there to the top. Got 2 to go this time by for Kyle Berry in a 6X car. Getting by Wendy, a lap car, and 11 car getting out of shape. The 96 car running in your second spot. Jason Rivas running in there deep, trying to get by him. Got a real good race that second spot. Wendy getting out of shape again down there. Staying in the gas with him, though. Bringing her back out, keeping her rolling. White flag out for Kyle Berry. Donald Mick, Jason Rivas ain't got but one more circuit to get by him here to pull in that second spot. Jason Rivas trying to make it stick. Donald Mick's not going to give it easy. Jason's running there on the bottom on him. Kyle Berry out there to a good lead. Oh, and Jason watching out. Kyle Berry in a 6X car taking a checkered, your winner. And they're out. Get a good start. Nick leading off there in the first turn. Nick on the bottom. Kyle Berry looking right there behind him, closing the gap a little bit, going down through there. Nick Hunter working his way up there. Shane Jenkins trying to find his way up there. Jason Rivas working up there, trying to find a spot. Taylor Hunter leading your first lap. Kyle Berry in a 6X car running in the next lap. 17 car to Jeremy Buxton there. Kyle Berry coming there. The 7 car having to pull out of this thing. Nick Hunter out there, Taylor Hunter out there in the lead. Kyle Berry running that second spot. Nick trying to find his way there. The race looks like it's for the second place spot right now. Taylor Hunter's got him a good lead out there. Kyle Berry in a 6X car leading in second place, but keep your eye on Nick looking at the bottom, trying to find something around there. Mick trying to find something in that 40, 96 car, 626 car. Jeremy Buxton trying to work his way up here into the top 5. Got a race going there for that 7-7 car and that 19 car further back in the field for about that 6th spot. Dane on the high side. Oh, Randy barely missing a tire. Chuck bringing her around in a 22 car, trying to get her back moving, bringing a yell out. Can't quite get her going fast enough. I ain't gonna bunch 17. They're off. Green flag, clean start. Nick finding his way by Kyle Berry, see if he can make it stick. Kyle Berry looking at the top. Jeremy finding his way up there into the top 5th spot. The 96 car, Jason Rivas getting a little loose. Jeremy sliding there. Kyle Berry looking at the high side. Jeremy looking at the bottom of Donald Mick, trying to find a way back. Kyle Berry working on it. Got some good races going there at 2nd spot and 3rd spot. Good race going on right there. Jeremy looking at the bottom, trying to get by Donald. Can't quite make it stick. Kyle Berry's right on the back bumper of Nick. Taylor Hunter's out there cruising to a nice lead with no problem. Nobody challenging him. Oh, getting a little loose up there. Jeremy getting a little loose, letting the 626 come up back in the picture there. That 5th place spot. Jeremy trying to hold on to 777, bringing her around, he's going to bring the caution out. He's trying to get back under his way. The roof flaps up, got to put it up. I want a little sun out there on his head. Randy, he's going to pick it up late, and there he goes. Jason Rivas having trouble not getting going. Somehow the 626 car. Randy catching a tire there, trying to cut under the 22 car, getting his toe out a little bit out. He's going to catch him another tire, or the front end knocked loose on that thing. Pulling Shane off the track. See if that deals like that. Caution coming out. Randy busting the front end out there, hitting that tire. Mick's right there behind him. Man, they're off. Jeremy getting a good start. Jason getting a good start that time running there. Donald Mick running in that 4th spot. Kyle Berry trying to find a high groove there. Jason Rivas trying to find a way around him. Taylor's got her glued down and rolling out there, sliding up there high. Coming by right here, get her going. Got a good race going for that 4th spot right there. Them 3 cars, it's anybody's business. Jason Rivas looking at the high line, trying to get by Jeremy. Jeremy losing a little ground on the back straightaway. Can he make it stick? Jason Rivas making his stick, going into 3 and 4, but it's got to be at the flag stand where it counts. Oh, Donald Mick getting a little bit out of shape. Jeremy and Rivas were out there together. Kyle Berry trying to find something there. The race on this racetrack today is back there in that 4th spot. Jason Rivas ducking down, trying to get under Mick. He's looking at it, seeing if he can make a stick. And Jason Rivas getting that 3rd spot, making a move on him in that 626 car. See if he's got anything to catch Kyle Berry. Working their way around here. Jason Rivas running up close to the fence, getting stretched out pretty good there between Taylor, Nick, and Kyle. Jeremy trying to find his way into that top 5. Keeps having to get on the binders. Donald Mick. Here we go. Kerry Corner. Here they come up on a little bit of lap traffic. Halfway to go that time by for him coming through. Nick coming up on lap traffic, trying to work his way through there. Kyle Berry trying to find something there. Nick stretching her out, got her stretched out. Oh, Nick's got her Taylor's got her rolling good. Nick stretching out that second place spot. He's rolling through there in that 3 car. The 9 car, Nick coming in that second spot. In the 4th place car, the 6X coming in there. The 626 running there. Got a race going right here for that 5th spot. Jeremy looking at the bottom. Donald Mick looking at the top. Donald coming back underneath back there, gonna drive back, bang. Jeremy not being able to make it stick. Jeremy coming up there, lap traffic playing a big part here. The 11 car sliding up with a rookie in it. They're both looking, trying to find a way by. Jeremy looking at the high side. Now he's going back to the bottom, trying to find his way through there, slowing both of them down, getting through there. Giving them the holder line flag as Taylor's got that thing rolling around there in that 3 car. He's got her grooved out. Oh, Wendy getting out of shape. She gathers it up, gets it gathered up, and goes with it. Rookie hanging in there tough. Jason Rivas trying to reel in for that 4th spot. Still got a good race going there between the 17 car and Donald Mick. Finally got them lined out and running here, going pretty good. Taylor in that 3 car just rocking and rolling. Oh, she's still getting a little loose there with that thing. Nick running that 2nd spot, Kyle Berry in that 3rd spot. Oh, Jason Rivas in that 626 car trying to reel him in, working their way down if he don't run out of lap. These 2 here coming through some lap traffic. Jeremy in that 17 car still trying to find his way by Donald Mick in that 96 car. Oh no, Jeremy gets into him and they have to spin it out. Bringing a yell out, Jeremy bringing a yell out there, turning around in here. And Taylor starts them off of 4 and here they go. Oh, and it's 3 wide going back down the back straightaway. Kyle Berry looking at the bottom of Nick going down the deal. Got 2 to go this time by Nick. Kyle Berry trying to find the bottom, getting by Nick. Let's see if he can make it stick. Kyle Berry pulling up into that 2nd spot. We don't know if we can go. We got a good race going for that 2nd, 3rd spot right there. Tighten it all up here. Going to be a good finish. Kyle Berry getting a little loose. Nick getting his spot back. Can he hold it here if he don't get in too deep? Kyle Berry trying to go. Oh, Nick jumping the cushion, giving Kyle Berry a break. Jason Rivas trying to pull in tow. Nick gathering it back up. White flag for Taylor Hunter that time by. How about that? Checkered flags in the flagman's hand. Looking for it here if they can make it around. Keep you on the 2nd place car. Taylor Hunter in the 3 car making his way through there. Taylor Hunter in the 3 car pulling it off. Oh no, Kyle Berry getting infield. Jason Rivas pulling to that 3rd spot. Kyle Berry getting a little bit loose in there in that deal. Working his way through there. Taylor Hunter, your winner.
Liable to his right, always fast, 15. Here we are. Ladies and gentlemen, we are R&L Truck Repair Limited Modified A-Main Racing. Weibel leads them down into turns 1 and 2, chomping at the bit. In the back's the 75 of Marcus Black, trying to find a way around the 58 of Ron Brown. Brown and Black going to go side by side down into turns 3 and 4. Black's going to stick to the bottom. He's going to push a little bit. Car's tight. He's going to figure it out as we do stay clean and green through lap number 1. Doesn't have a lot of laps down here tonight, or say in the season in general, is that blue and white 23S of Ronnie Smith. Ronnie doesn't get to travel out here as much with us as he's getting to do the family thing with select softball with his daughter, and we are glad that they gonna have a little time to spend with us here tonight. So out of Beaumont, Texas, the 23S of Ronnie Smith, and on the chase right behind him, trying to cut down to the inside, is gonna be the 15 of Tracy Denby Jr. Junior looking to the inside of Smith once again, and Denby Jr. loses that real estate just as quickly as he gathered it back up. Cross flags halfway home for your pole leader right now, the 18 of John Weibel. Out of turn 4 with the good runs, the 15 of Denby Jr. again. Jr. still working the middle line of the racing surface. Ronnie Smith not really pulling away anymore, but still hitting his marks and being consistent right there on the top groove that starts to develop here tonight for our 2nd heat race of the night. A good heat race finish will set you up for a good spot to park yourself in Rush Truck Center Victory Lane. And now, taking it on, 2 laps to go with a mistake on the exit is 18 of John Weibel, but the ones to watch still going at it are the battle for the 2nd place spot. 23S of Ronnie Smith is just doing what he needs to do. Hit his marks and be consistent, because right now he's got the line that Tracy Denby Jr. in the 15 wants, and he can't get past it. White flag waves on the 18 of John Weibel. Weibel nice and smooth around the top of 1 and 2 and cuts down to the middle. On the exit of 2 down the backstretch, we are going to go. Weibel with a straightaway lead on second place. 83E of Estes pulls to the infield at the checkered flag. Ladies and gentlemen, the 18 of Mr. John Weibel. And now here we are, green flag racing out of turn number 4. And Kay Lee gets into the back of the 19 via Vandiver. Vandiver did not get on the gas, so Kay Lee tried to have somewhere to go. Now, here comes Vandiver to the inside, peeking to the inside of 83 of Savannah Lovell. Here comes Tracy Denby Sr. as well. We do stay clean and green through lap number 1. Denby Sr. on the back bumper of the 19 via Vandiver. Vandiver starts to the bottom, pushes up in the middle, and here comes from the top to the bottom the 22 of Tracy Denby Sr. Denby Sr. has a lot of laps down here this quarter-mile high banks at Golden Triangle Raceway Park, and he's going to put some of that to test. Track conditions are going to continue to change throughout the night, so we are going to see who's going to be able to put the old match setup on their car to set them up for a good spot. Out front, looking calm, cool, and collected. Savannah ain't got time for that. Lovell in the 83 JR with Nick Vandiver in the 19V on the chase. This is Lovell's first race in the, shall we say, big boy modifieds. She earned some stripes down there in our rookie limited modified class. She got her 3 feature wins, and now here she is having a move up. And you can definitely see that she has a little bit of experience and learning curve with her here tonight. Speaking of learning curves, getting ready to go into turn 3 in the number 14 of Cade Lee. Cade Lee, he ran the rookie limited modified class last year, ran the Texas Grand with the big boy modifieds, and he did a very nice job. And he is driving tonight for Terry Rashall in that number 14, getting his feet wet back first time here this year in 2019. So trying to get the groove back going is the 14 of Cade Lee with the 83 of Randy Corndog. Lovell trying to peek to the inside out of turn number 4. Can't get nothing going for him there. You got a blanket over the back 3 cars for that top 5 spot. White flag, though, is going to wave on your leader. Miss Savannah ain't got time for that Lovell. She enters nice and smooth. Sticks around the top, gets a good run off the top, down the backstretch. You would not believe it, folks, that a rookie moves on up. She's not intimidated by starting on the front row and picks up her first limited modified heat race. Miss Savannah ain't got time for that Lovell. 18 of John Weibel, Savannah Lovell on the outside. They're going to have a nice and slow pace. Working it good here down the front stretch. Drag racing down into turns 3 and 4. Ronnie Smith on the bottom. Nick Vandiver trying to peek there. It's going to go 3 wide for just a moment. And now Ronnie Smith back to the inside, looking underneath Lovell. Lovell's going to slow down way, way hard, and the caution flag comes out. Now here we are, and a turn 4. The green is up, and the hammer is down. It is showtime. Diving it in deep to the bottoms, the 22 of Tracy Denby Sr. with the 15 of Tracy Denby Jr. right behind him to the inside of Kroom. And around goes the 83E of Estes ahead of the 14. And we're going to see what that one's going to do. They are going to park it and looks to bring out our second caution. He's going to stay slow all the way to the exit. We are back green flag racing. We've got 1 lap complete of the scheduled 20. 75 of Marcus Black makes to be having a good move there from the top to the bottom. Look into the inside of Denby Jr. down the backstretch into turns 3 and 4. Black's going to give up a little bit of a room, and around goes the 14. And caution flag comes out. The hunt. Leader starts him in the middle of the entrance, and here we are back underway. Denby Jr. is going to look to the top. Here comes Nick Vandiver to the inside of John Weibel. Weibel stays up to the top, and Vandiver works around the bottom of the racing surface, nice and smooth to the tires, and it's going to be Weibel off of turn 4. By nose, the 18 Mid-County Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram keeps that top spot. Here back with a third place battle. Denby and Denby, the old parafamilias in the 22. Tracy Denby Sr. working the bottom of the racing surface. 23S of Ronnie Smith hits a slick spot, keeps it under control. And now Tracy Denby Jr. peeks to the outside of the 19V of Nick Vandiver. Vandiver going to have a good run out of turn 2 through the middle, chasing down the 18 of John Weibel. Full head of steam is going to go to the 15 of Tracy Denby Jr. A little bit of dust there from the Ronnie Smith. 83 goes around in front of the 23S. Caution flag does not come out. We do stay clean and green. The battle for the race lead up here is going to be in contention. Tracy Denby Jr. not straying away from the top side of the racing surface. He's going to have another good run off of the top of turn 4 and working his way into the bottom of turns 1 and 2 is Nick Vandiver pulling to the inside of John Weibel. Weibel working the bottom of the racing surface, as is Nick Vandiver in the 19V. Both drivers wanting that same line. And now Weibel's going to move up about a half a lane, and he's going to get a little bit of a run off of that corner. Down into turns 3 and 4 we're going to go. Tracy Denby Jr. is going to set it up for the top. He's going to look to dive it on the exit, but he's not going to do it because there is, again, the 19V of Nick Vandiver. Denby Jr. is trying to work that same line now. There's a mistake by Vandiver. Here comes Denby Jr. Tracy Denby Jr. and Nick Vandiver are going to have a drag race down into turns 3 and 4. Vandiver going to be in the middle of the racing surface with the 15 of Tracy Denby Jr. taking the second place spot and the advantage down into turns 1 and 2. Vandiver looking to peek back down to the inside of Denby Jr. Not going to happen. Your second place spot all to himself, the 15 of Denby Jr. The groove is starting to get set here for your leader. Single file is 1, 2, 3. Denby Jr. not really gaining all that ground again on the 18 of Weibel. And here it is, the battle for the race lead gonna heat up again. Tracy Denby Jr. gonna peek to the inside of Weibel in turns 1 and 2. Down the backstretch, we are gonna go. Tracy Denby Jr. drives it in nice and deep. Around goes the 83E of Estes, and now we have a new race leader. Estes is gonna park it right there on the exit to the infield. He's going to stay out of the way, so the green is going to stay out. And 83E pokes it to the infield to bring out the caution. Junior, the 15, is going to set the pace, and he's going to set them loose in the middle of 3 and 4. Everybody on the brakes. We takes them all the way to the exit of turn 4. We are back green flag racing. 83E of Danny Estes brought out the caution. He waited a whole entire lap before trying to pull back into the infield in the line of cars. So last completed lap at that point put Denby Jr. ahead on the books. And now on the chase is going to be the 18 of John Weibel. Tracy Denby Sr. in the 22 looking to the top and the outside of the 19V and Nick Vandiver. Vandiver working the bottom. Here comes Denby Sr. with a run down the front stretch out of turn 4. Two laps to go for your race leader, Tracy Denby Jr. But Tracy Denby Sr. right now is the one to watch, reeling in the 19V and Nick Vandiver. One lap remains, and 4 more corners stand in the way of Tracy Denby Jr. in the B&D Motorsports number 15. Denby, nice and smooth down the backstretch, slides it on in to turn 3 and 4 on the top of the track. Out of 4, put it on together, headed to Rush Truck Center victory lane, the 15 of Tracy Denby Jr. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we are, IMCA modified action. Tracy Denby Jr. in the 51. Got to lead him down into turns 1 and 2. Fast man right there on the chase is going to be the 81, and you can see him work on by, 83 of Chris Galleon. My mistake. 81 is Chris Galleon. My mistake, folks. 81 is Chris Galleon. You know, but here, coming up, we're going to talk about that 1H machine because he is moving on up nice and quick. He picked up the A-Main win last weekend. That's Garrett Higgins out of Vidor, Texas. Here we are, ladies and gentlemen. Chris Galleon gonna set him loose. 83 was the caution, and we are back. Green flag racing. Garrett Higgins in the 1H on the chaser restarts what he needed. Here comes Garrett Higgins. This is Higgins' first run out at GTRP this season, and he's going to try to crack in there to the battle for the race lead. Higgins works the top of the racing surface, getting the cushion, and here it is on a turn 4 again. Garrett Higgins in the 1H. He's got a groove figured out in turns 3 and 4, and he's going to try to get something going here in 1 and 2. And the back end's going to scrub out and walk on the 81 of Galleon. That allows the 1H to reel him back in. Herring takes the same peak out of turn 4. Ladies and gentlemen, keep your eyes on the battle for the race lead. Now into the mix, the 37, Mr. Garrett Higgins. He's put several laps around this quarter-mile track over the years, but this is his first set of laps in 2019, and he is looking like he has not missed a beat. Car setup seems to not be giving him enough drive out of the corner that he's looking for, but you know who's got the drive is the 81 of Chris Galleon out front, staying on the top. If the back end walks, he gathers it up quickly and takes a white flag. He's got 1 more lap and 4 more turns in the way of him and this heat race win, setting himself up to battle it out to Rush Truck Center victory lane for your IMCA modified feature coming up later tonight. Out of turn 4, folks, put it on together for the 81 of Mr. Chris Galleon. All right, folks, we hold our breath on the start, and Tracy Denby Jr. is going to lead him down into turns number 1 and 2 with Chris Galleon working the outside of the racing surface. Here comes the 1 of Garrett Higgins trying to find a way around. Chris Galleon out front on point. Looking to the bottom is going to be Tracy Denby Jr. He found the groove in the limited modifieds and made his way to Rush Truck Center victory lane. And he's going to try to use that knowledge from the previous race and where the groove is, going to work on it here. Galleon goes way high, and there's a mistake by Denby Jr. An opportunity squandered. And now the 1H of Mr. Garrett Higgins has an opportunity here to the inside in turns 1 and 2. Herring going to lean out of the gas a little bit and not scrub the 51. There's another mistake. Whoa, he's going to gather it up on the exit. And now we're going to have a drag race door to door down into turns 1 and 2. Denby Jr. on the outside. 1H looking to the bottom. Herring is going to have the whole shot on the exit. Down the backstretch we go. Spotting advantage into turns 3 and 4 is going to go to none other than the 1H of Mr. Garrett Higgins, who picked up the dub last weekend here in the IMCA Modifieds, finding Rush Truck Center victory lane. Outside of the racing surface. Working the top is the 81 of Chris Galleon. Galleon has not strayed from the top. He's running up there where Grandpa keeps the good bourbon as we are cross flags halfway home. As the 37H of Garrett Higgins is trying to find a way around the 51 of Tracy Denby Jr. Higgins back on the gas out of turns 1 and 2 and not going to have enough of a run to get a poke in there to the bottom of turns 3 and 4. It's going to be, around the 37H as Garrett Higgins in turns 3 and 4 and looks to bring out our caution. And yes, all right, Chris Galleon going to set him loose on a turn 4. We are back underway. A caution flag is what Garrett Higgins needed. You see him squeak right there past the 51 of Tracy Denby Jr. down the front stretch, but can't get the run in the middle of the corner. Now we got a two-way battle for both first and third place. Chris Galleon to the outside, Jared Herring on the bottom. Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise for these guys putting on a show. Chris Galleon sticking back up to the top of the racing surface. Jared Herring now going to pull up, going to be door-to-door down the backstretch. Looking to the bottom is going to be Herring. It's going to stick up top for Galleon, so he's not going to lose any ground there. Garrett Higgins now going to work the bottom of the racing surface, trying to get the run off the exit. And he's going to be looking at the same amount of real estate between he and Jared Herring with 2 laps to go. There's an opportunity, Jared Herring. Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise for him here, coming to the white flag. Jared Herring to the bottom, Chris Galleon taking the outside. Herring's going to have a slight advantage on the bottom with a nose into the corner, but Chris Galleon works the top, and he's not going to get the run. Door to door down the backstretch into the final corners. Chris Galleon up top, Jared Herring working the bottom, and at the line, ladies and gentlemen, the 81 of Mr. Chris Galleon. Tight pace, here we are through turns 3 and 4. Caleb Paget on the pole, Dustin Welch to the right, and we are green flag racing. Trey Schmidt, the number 12, picked up the dub last time out at GTRP. He's going to look to try to carry that momentum and success here into tonight's show. Charging hard from the back with Schmidt is the 26 of Jacob Harris. Harris now with his hands full of Daniel King as now Schmidt tries to peek to the inside of Oliver. Daniel King takes the top side, and Schmidt is going to be wheel to wheel down the backstretch with the 76 of Daniel King. Catfish in the bottom. Stays Trey Schmidt, as is the 1-0 of Michael Oliver. Oliver and King side by side down the flag stand into turns 1 and 2. King goes way up high, gets the momentum off at the top of turn 2. Trey Schmidt and the 26 of Jacob Harris both trying to fight their way around the 1-0 of Michael Oliver. Now around goes the 26 past Oliver. Passing points are key here in these IMCA 305 heat races. You get passing points, enough of them will put you and set your lineup in for the A main in your trace to Rush Truck Center victory lane. Third place battle, Daniel King now trying to get back by the 12 of Trey Schmidt. King goes back to the top of turns 1 and 2. Finding success, though, on the bottom is the 12 of Trey Schmidt. Several times, Trey Schmidt has very delicately expressed his displeasure with this racetrack, but you know what? His mind may be changing as he is finding his way around this track very nicely as smoke pours out of the 4 of Caleb Paget as the white flag waves down the backstretch all the way into turns 3 and 4 with a half a track lead. Ladies and gentlemen, out of turn 4, put it on together for the 2W, Mr. Dustin Welch. Second Southern United Sprint Car Heat Race on the track right now. On the outside, trying to get a little jump. There's the Wild Child, but he's going to back it back down. We got a good start up front. Craddock and Steve Holland leave him down into turns 1 and 2. And here comes the old 22L of Kent Lewis Sr. Don't let Senior on the suffix of that name fool you. That gentleman can still get elbows up on that machine and put it right there into the mix. He working the bottom of the racing surface, finding success out of turn number 2 down the backstretch with Trey Burke on the outside. Burke looking nice and smooth around the top. He's going to get a little bit of extra run off the top down the front stretch into turns 1 and 2, trying to work that bottom of the racing surface is the 24, Tyler Harris. Harris trying a little different line. Usually he's one of those drivers that runs the cushion religiously, but you know, running the cushion religiously is that old Texas wild child. Crawdads Bull and Go number 3 machine, slinging it up there, letting the right rear dig and eat on the cushion that is starting to build atop of this racing surface. We are cross flags halfway home. The 3H of, the 3 Tia Teresa Waller pulls into the infield, and there comes Rod Craddock to the inside. Craddock makes a mistake on the exit of turn 4. Craddock gathers it back up very quickly, moving up to a different line is the 24 of Tyler Harris. Harris now trying to work the top line of the racing surface. He runs the cushion very nicely, and he's going to change it up and try to get a little bit further into that chase with 2 laps to go. Battle for the race lead, ladies and gentlemen, with the white flag lap. Ladies and gentlemen, my oh my, this is going to be a good finish. The Texas Wild Child out front from the get-go, trying to go flag to flag. This is his first race back in a sprint car after being overseas working off the coast of Spain. And ladies and gentlemen, Steve Holland in the Texas Wild Child number 3 picks up the second heat race. Corner. The Thunder builds on a turn 4. We are green flag racing. We hold our breath through the first corner, and we're going to try to go clean and green through lap number 1. Trey Schmidt takes a very quick lead through 1. The 2W of Dustin Welch and the 24 of Tyler Harris getting a little tangled up down the backstretch. Here comes Jacob Harris working to the inside of Tyler. Harrison Harris, the number 3, is going to be one to watch. That's the 3B of Trey Burke. Burke working with the, whoa, ladies and gentlemen, around the field goes the 76 of Rod Craddock, and Craddock's going to bring out our first caution. Good restart there up front. Charging hard, trying to work their way into the top of turns 3 and 4 is the 24 of Tyler Harris. Looking to the outside of Dustin Welch off of 4. Tyler's going to get a little bit of pressure from the 26 of older brother Jacob Harris. Jacob staying to the bottom. Here comes the 3B of Trey Burke. Burke has found success catfishing around the bottom of the racing surface, and he's looking to get another spot here if he can get a little real estate and have an opportunity at the 26 of Harris. Both Harris muffler and brake cars are going to be wheel to wheel off of turn number 2, but the advantage into the backstretch is going to go to the 24 of Tyler Harris. Those Marsh waterproof and rear ends kicking them cars around this racing surface nice and fast. Problems on the backstretch. And we've got debris, something on the track on fire in the entrance of turn 3 and 4. 6 down of the scheduled 20. Trey Schmidt sets him loose again on the exit of turn 4. Your top 5 drivers stay to the bottom except for the 24 of Tyler Harris. Harris goes up to the top in 1 and 2. He's going to stay there in 3 and 4. And working the bottom now, here it comes. 3 wide, ladies and gentlemen. Harris middle and outside with Steve Holland in the 3 into the middle pinch. And now 3 to 3. Trey Burke on the bottom, and now here comes Steve Holland. He's going to have to work the middle of the racing surface. He's found his groove on the bottom. And problems for the 76 of Daniel King. We've got a loose wheel coming down on the racing surface. Trying to finish it once again. Trey Schmidt setting them loose out of turn 4. Trey Burke looking to the inside of Mr. Tyler Harris down the backstretch. We are going to go. Harris is going to drive it in a little deeper around the top, trying to get the cushion in the run, and he is going to get that spot all to himself. Trey Burke with another good corner on the entrance. A little speed loss there on the exit as he scrubs it with cross flags halfway home for your race leader, Trey Schmidt. Tyler Harris, the only one right now that seems to be moving up through the pack is going to be Tyler Harris in the 24 and the 3 of Trey Burke. Both drivers start a little bit towards the middle of the pack, and they're now chomping at the bit inside the top 5 and just on the exit of the top 5. And they are now at the point where they're just waiting for a mistake going down into turns 1 and 2. Rod Craddock's going to work on by the 3 of Steve Holland. Battle for the second place spot. Jacob Harris to the bottom, Dustin Welch in the 2W. Harris with a good run out of 2 down the backstretch. The 26 found another gear on the exit. He's got the bottom working for him right now. Spot and advantage going down into turns 1 and 2 is going to be the 2W of Dustin Welch in that third place spot. And now here comes again off the top the 24 of Tyler Harris, but Dustin Welch kind of working with something, trying to follow Harris through the same line in the 1 and 2. See if he can pick up that extra momentum in that drive out of the corner. They've got that flying fish tank rocking around the bottom of the racing surface. Lap traffic now 89. It's gonna be Ruddy Roberts. Excuse me, Dubby Roberts in the 29 lap car around the bottom. Working through lap traffic though, the 12 of Trey Schmidt. Trying to get a peek around the 3 of Teresa Waller-Schmidt, still staying at the bottom. He's worked the bottom of the racing surface the entire race with 2 laps to go for your race leader. And whoa, Tyler Harris into the wall off the cushion in turns 3 and 4. Lights around Trey Schmidt, gonna try to set him loose again. Green, white checker is gonna be the call right now. Schmidt, Harris, Welch, and Burke with Rod Craddock there in the top 5. Taking the white flag is gonna be the 12 of Trey Schmidt. 1 more lap and 4 more corners for your race leader. Battle for the third place spot. Trey Burke trying to peek into the inside of Dustin Welch. He's not going to have enough in turns 1 and 2. But you know what? On a turn 4, folks, put it together for the 12 of Mr. Trey Schmidt. We are green flag racing. Ladies and gentlemen, factory stocks are chasing the old 63 of Paul Vanderpool. Vanderpool's been doing this ball game for a long, long time. And we are going to see if he's going to change his luck here this season. Working to the inside of the 91 of Huff's going to be the 17H of Dustin Hawkins. Huff right there matching Vanderpool in turns 3 and 4. Tapping the brakes to dip the front end down to stay off the nose. And here we are, ladies and gentlemen, 3 wide in turns 1 and 2. 91 and 17 collect a little bit. No harm, no foul. Huff gathers it back up. And the 17H of Dustin Hawkins is going to have to try a little something different because that side-by-side battle for the race lead's not going to leave him much of a room to get anything done. Cross flags halfway home. You got a blanket over the battle for the top 3 spots. Vanderpool, Huff, and Hawkins, 1, 2, and 3. An 83 of Savannah Level makes a mistake in turns 3 and 4, keeps it under her power, does the donut to get back going in the right direction. And now back to the front, ladies and gentlemen. Into the inside again is going to be Huff. And now Hawkins makes a mistake in the entrance of turns 3 and 4. As 2 laps now go for the battle for the top 2 cars. What's going to change, if anything at all? Vanderpool has that top line working just where he wants it. And the 91 of James Huff doing anything he can on the inside line to get the run. As the white flag waves, here we are, drag race on this last lap. Trying to pick up the old heat race win. Out of turn 4, ladies and gentlemen, the 63 of Mr. Paul Vanderpool. And right now, on a turn 4, the green flag drops. We are green flag racing. Josh Ellender getting a good old back bumper of the 11J of Jamie Sanford. Sanford in the gas now through turns 1 and 2 with Ryan Roberts in the 2R trying to peek down to the inside of turns 3 and 4. Roberts going to stay up to the top, doesn't cut the exit. And we do stay clean and green through lap number 1. Josh Ellender in the 50 machine. He's going to set himself to the middle of the racing surface, drive around the bottom. And the 11J is going to push up in the middle of 1 and 2. On the brakes is the 2R, Ryan Roberts. Jamie Sanford looks to be a little too tight in the middle of the corner in 1 and 2. And that's going to squeeze Roberts on the brakes. And now Ryan Roberts is going to have to try to find his way around the inside. On the chase now for the lead spot. Josh Ellender. There's Ryan Roberts working that same move that Josh Ellender just pulled to move into the 2nd place spot. So here comes the good battle for the 2nd place spot once again. Ryan Roberts and Josh Ellender, 2 very fast cars. That Fantasy Fireworks 2R has seen victory lane at GTRP a few times this season, as has the 50 of Josh Ellender. Ellender now working to the middle of the racing surface, sticks it around the bottom. As we are now cross flags halfway home for your 2nd factory stock heat race. Two laps to go, ladies and gentlemen. Your leaders 1, 2, 3, stretching it out. Chad Herron, Josh Ellender, and Ryan Roberts, 1, 2, 3. Down the backstretch, they're going to go chasing each other. Single file. Hold on, folks. We've got ourselves a good run here, moving into the battle for the lead as Ellender picks up a little bit of momentum down the front stretch into turns 1 and 2. Herron sticking to the bottom of the racing surface through 1 and 2. He's got the good drive out of the corner. Within about 2 lengths is the 50 of Josh Ellender. Ellender peaks to the top of the racing surface. He's going to try to get the outside. No, it's not going to happen. The 2-1H of Chad Herring picks up your 2nd factory stock heat race. While Mr. Dwayne Blair from the flag stand is going to set him loose on a turn 4. We are green flag racing. A little squirrely there through the first corner. Everybody kind of on the brakes. Vanderpool got a little sideways and loose, so he checks up and allows Chad Herring to get to the inside of the 50 of Mr. Josh Ellender. And the battle of the race lead commences early. Herring to the bottom with the 2R Ryan Roberts right behind him. Roberts going to try a higher line of the racing surface, going to look for a groove to get him some run off the top, and that's not going to do it for him there in turns 3 and 4. The 11J of Jamie Sanford now with a battle of his own, trying to get past the 63 of Paul Vanderpool. Vanderpool staying to the top line of the racing surface. Sanford going to work right around the bottom. Looking at it here for the 5th place spot with the 17H of Dustin Hawkins on the hunt as well. Sanford nice and smooth through the bottom of 3 and 4 with a nice, good exit, and he's going to have a nice opportunity. Nice, nice, nice. That is the key phrase right here. With a good run from turns 1 and 2, Jamie Sanford looking to the inside of Vanderpool, but not enough right there to get the advantage of a position on the entrance of the corner. And Jamie Sanford way sideways. He's going to make the 17 of Hawkins check up as well. So now here comes Lovell and Lovell right behind him. 83 JR of Savannah ain't got time for that. Lovell trying to look away around, and as is the 83 of Randy Lovell right behind her. Jamie Sanford gets a little real estate between he and the 17H of Hawkins. Good battle here towards the back of the pack for the 5th place spot. Now Hawkins is going to stick it right there next to the door at Jamie Sanford. Sanford sitting in the 6th place spot. He lost some ground on the 63 of Vanderpool for the top 5. But back up front as we transition down into turns 1 and 2. Josh Ellender holding on to this one. The 2R of Ryan Roberts trying to make a move through the middle of the corner with Chad Herring in the 21H working the bottom in that 2nd place spot. Chad Herring picked up his first career feature win a few races ago, and he's been building on that success since then. Josh Ellender also got the win out here at Golden Triangle Raceway Park earlier in May during our Memorial Day extravaganza. He picked up the win. In his brand new car. He only had 2 nights on the car up to that, and talked with him a little bit before the races, and he says that it is driving nice and smooth like a Cadillac, and you can kind of see it working right here through the bottom of the racing surface. The car stays straight through the corners. Not a lot of back steer going on for him. He's got the setup working for him. Drags the brake, rotates around, points us to the exit. Nice and smooth driving from the top 3 cars, Ellender, Herring, and Roberts. Ryan Roberts has a few dubs in his back pocket here at GTRP. Met us down in Rush Truck Center Victory Lane twice on the year, trying to get a little something going here to go for the 3rd time is the charm, they say. And your lead group has about a half a track on 4th place spot right now, and the rest of the field stretches it out. So your top 3 cars are the ones to definitely keep an eye on, because they're now with the aspect where if a guy ahead of them makes a mistake, it'll be the time to capitalize. In pulls the 83 of Randy Lovell. "13 laps down of the scheduled 20. These slick tired factory stocks are loving this dry slick track, so they can actually get a pretty good grip on that asphalt pull-off when the track gets to a certain aspect of the dry slick, and you can actually see these guys getting a pretty good drive out of the corner. Josh Ellender still working the duct tape numbers here in this one. Old white and pink number 50 out front with looking almost about a half a straightaway on the 21H of Chad Herring. And we are now 2 laps to go for your race leader, Josh Ellender. That battle for the top 3 has really stretched out. Ellender, Herring, and Roberts, 1, 2, 3. They take up the entrance of 3 and the down the backstretch to the exit of turn 2. Each one separated by several lengths as the white flag comes on out for your race leader, the 50 of Mr. Josh Ellender. As we've got one slowing atop of turn 2, that's the 17H of Dustin Hawkins. He is onto the racing groove, so we may try to finish this one out depending on where he's going to sit. Out of turn 4, folks, the 50 of Mr. Josh Ellender picking up the factory stock win.